Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Story Time with Mrs. G. You know what? I'm closing my eyes and I can see each and every one of you. So, no, I miss you, and visually, I can see all of you in my mind. Yesterday, um, a very, very beloved author passed away. He was 85 and died as a result of a fall in his home in Connecticut. So, today we are going to read a story by this author, Tommy DePaula. Now, I have read books by him to you, but today I am going to read the story which many feel was his signature story. So, boys, sit back and relax, and today we're going to read Strega Nona, an old tale retold and illustrated by Tommy DePaula. In a town in Calabria, a long time ago, there lived an old lady everyone called Strega Nona, which meant Grandma Witch. And although all the people in town talked about her in whispers, they went to see her if they had troubles. Even the priest and the sisters in the convent went because Strega Nona did have a magical touch. She could cure a headache with oil and water and a hairpin. She could make special potion for the girls who wanted husbands. And she was very good at getting rid of warts. But Strega Nona was getting old and she needed someone to help keep her little house and garden. So she put up a sign in the town square. Big Anthony, who didn't pay attention, went to see her. Anthony, said Strega Nona, you must sweep the house and wash the dishes. You must weed the garden and pick the vegetables. You must feed the goat and milk her. And you must fetch the water. For this I will give you 3 coins and a place to sleep and food to eat. Oh, grazie, said Big Anthony. The one thing you must never do, said Strega Nona, is touch the pasta pot. It is very valuable, and I don't let anyone touch it. Oh, see, yes, said Big Anthony. And so the days went by, and Big Anthony did his work, and Strega Nona met with the people who came to see her for headaches and husbands and warts. One evening, Big Anthony was milking the goat, and he heard Strega Nona singing. Peeking in the window, he saw Strega Nona standing over the pasta pot. She sang, bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me some pasta, nice and hot. I'm hungry, and it's time to eat. Boil enough pasta to fill me up. And the pasta pot bubbled and boiled and suddenly filled with steaming hot pasta. Then Strega Nona sang, enough, enough, pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day. How wonderful, said Big Anthony. That's a magic pot for sure. And Strega Nona called Anthony in for supper. But too bad for Big Anthony, because he didn't see Strega Nona blow 3 kisses to the magic pasta pot. And this is what happened. The next day, when Big Anthony went to town square to fetch the water, he told everyone about the pasta pot. And naturally, everyone laughed at him because it sounded so silly. A pot that cooked pasta all by itself. You'd better go and confess to the priest, Big Anthony, they said. Such a lie. And Big Anthony was angry, and that wasn't a very good thing to be. I'll show them, he said to himself. Someday I will get the pasta pot and make it cook. And and then they will be sorry. That day came sooner than even Big Anthony would have thought, because 2 days later, Strega Nona said to Big Anthony, Anthony, I must go over the mountain to the next town to see my friend Strega Amelia. Sweep the house and weed the garden, feed the goat and milk her, and for your lunch there are some bread and cheese in the cupboard. And remember, don't touch the pasta pot. Oh, yes, Strega Nona, said Big Anthony, but inside he was thinking, my chance has come. As soon as Strega Nona was out of sight, Big Anthony went inside, pulled the pot off the shelf, and put it on the floor. Now let's see if I can remember the words, said Big Anthony. And Big Anthony sang, bubble, bubble pasta pot, boil me some pasta nice and hot. I am hungry and it's time to eat. Boil enough pasta to fill me up. And sure enough, the pot bubbled and boiled and began to fill with pasta. Aha! Said Big Anthony, and he ran into the town square and jumped on the fountain and shouted, everyone, get forks and plates and platters and bowl, pasta for everyone at Strega Nona's house. Big Anthony has made the magic pasta pot work. Well, of course everyone laughed, but ran home to get forks and plates and platters and bowls, and well, sure enough, they got to Strega Nona's pot. The pasta pot was full and it was beginning to overflow. Big Anthony was a hero. He scooped out pasta and filled the plates and the platters and the bowls. And there was more than enough for all the townspeople, including the priest and the sisters from the convent. And some people came back for 2 and 3 helpings, but the pot was never empty. When all had their fill, Big Anthony sang, enough, enough, my pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day. But alas, he did not blow 3 kisses. He went outside to the applause of the crowd. Big Anthony took a bow, and he was so busy listening to compliments from everyone, and he didn't notice the pasta pot was bubbling and boiling until a sister from the convent said, "Oh, Big Anthony, look!" And pasta was pouring out of the pot all over the floor of Strega Nona's house and was coming out the door. Big Anthony rushed in and shouted the magic words, but the pot kept bubbling. He took the pot off the floor, but the pasta kept on coming from it. And Big Anthony grabbed a cover and put it on the pot and sat on it. But the pasta raised the cover, and Big Anthony as well, and spilled on the floor of Strega Nona's house. "Stop!" yelled Anthony. But the pasta did not stop, and someone had grabbed poor Anthony. The pasta would have covered him up. The pasta had all but filled the little house, and out the window and through the doors came the pasta, and the pot kept right on bubbling. The townspeople began to worry. "Do something, Big Anthony!" they shouted, but Big Anthony sang the song again, but without the 3 kisses, it was no good. But this time, the pasta was on its way down the road, and all the people were running to keep ahead of it. "We must protect our town from pasta," said the mayor. "Get mattresses, tables, doors, anything to make a barricade." But even that didn't work. The pot kept bubbling, and the pasta kept coming. "We are lost," said the people, and the priest and the sisters of the convent began praying. "The pasta will cover the town," they cried, and certainly it would have, Had Strega Nona not come down the road from her visit, she didn't have to look twice to know what had happened. She sang the magic song and blew 3 kisses, and with a sputter, the pot stopped boiling and the pasta came to a halt. But then they turned on poor Big Anthony. "String 'em up!" the men of the town shouted. "Now wait," said Strega Nona. "The punishment must fit the crime." And she took a fork from a lady standing nearby and handed it to Big Anthony. "All right, Anthony, you wanted pasta from the magic pot?" Strega Nona said, "And I want to sleep in my little house tonight, so start eating." And he did. Poor Big Anthony. And that is the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed it. Strega Nona is kind of a fantasy kind of purchase, and you know what? Maybe she is a witch. So, in order for this video to end today, I have to blow 3 kisses. See you tomorrow.